welcome to the Portraits Podcast. This is She's Got the Power. This is the post-match review of the game against the Geelong Cats at Alberton Oval. Again, another close loss, 45 to 40. We'll go into greater detail on the score and the details with Gavin in a minute. Gavin, good evening, mate. How you going?
I'm good, thanks to you, Matt.
Good,
And
mate. Good.
yourself?
Good, terrific. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, we're now 2 wins, 4 losses. I think that the winner of that game was going to be scraping into the eight. So Geelong are eighth on the ladder, and that leads us on probably ninth or tenth on the ladder. So I'll have a little look at that and
I
go
think
into
we're left
detail
at
of that again.
12th. Yeah.
12th. All right, we'll have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, but a loss that was probably very costly when you consider it would have got us into the eight. As you say, two and four, 6 rounds into a game season that is again. How many rounds was it? From my memory, you were saying it was 20 rounds or
There's
15?
12 rounds, so yeah,
12
round
rounds, sorry.
six, we're halfway
12 rounds. 12
halfway into the
rounds.
season.
That's crazy. So at six rounds, we're halfway into the season. Yeah, 12 rounds. And of course, what then there's 3 rounds of the finals, and that's something that's becoming a bit of a distance for us at the moment. So, how many games do you
Yeah,
get in the
look,
finals? Do you get the normal?
the,
Is it the
the,
top
the
eight as the usual, like
yeah,
just
final
like the
structure is the
AFL?
same as what they have for the men. So
Okay,
sort of top four, second four,
that's right.
losers of the second four eliminated, and so
I called that last year,
yeah,
yeah.
we've got a
In
bit of
which
work
we
to
had
do
our
to.
prelim against North Melbourne. But no, we've got a bit of a concern. At 2 and 4, like 3 and 3 would have just been a lot healthier. As in a season that is got only another 6 games left. Before we kind of delve into the game itself, just give us a little bit of an idea how you, from a zooming out again from the season reviews at the halfway point, give us a bit of a indication just on how you think the health of, I guess, the team and the club is going at this halfway point.
Sure. So if we remove the North game from our first 6 rounds, of the other 5 games, um, the three other losses that have been had, there's a consistency in where we're falling down,
Hmm.
and that relates to just not bringing the intensity to the contest for what ideally the full 4 quarters. And yeah, the same thing that happened against Geelong. We didn't turn up in the first quarter, and the ball just lived in Geelong's forward line. Fortunately, they only kicked the one goal for. Um, and in part, that was a little bit because the defence did a good job, but just the same things happened in the Fremantle game, and the West Coast game,
Hmm.
and we've just not been able to replicate over the full 4 quarters what we need to do. The list health has improved. We started the season with for the first game we had 2 players listed as emergencies that weren't actually part of the original squad.
All right.
But now we've got to the point where I think we've got four
With
players that are
Lauren.
available for selection, and that might have grown to 5 now with Lauren Young playing her first game.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the only I guess the really downside for the team was losing Caitlin Wendland just on the eve of the season.
Right.
Um, and then sadly, yeah, Janelle Cuthbertson, after doing all of the rehab and being available for selection again, has then gone and ruptured the ACL in her other knee on the Thursday just prior to the game.
Just
Um,
prior to this game just now, so we've just heard about that. Bit of and are we if we can just put a little bit of a hold on just what you're just talking about the team. If we can just talk about Janelle, just she was yeah, there was a bit of a highlight of her over the weekend.
yeah, sure. So, yeah, look, a testament to her quality and leadership of the team. Obviously, at the end of last season, as she was recovering from the ACL, she relinquished the captaincy,
Yep.
which has gone to Justine Mills Robinson. Um, and but she's still around the team, providing a lot of support and leadership. Yeah, sadly, doing her knee. That's this season gone, and potentially next season
Yeah.
as well. But testament to her as a sort of person that she is. Um, she was the player that did the Guernsey presentation for Lauren Young
Yes.
prior to the game. Gave a heartfelt speech around Lauren's resilience. You could hear the emotion in her voice because clearly that's a sore point for her as well,
Go
and
through the
very
same.
fresh and raw. Yet
Dude.
there'd be so many people that would just say, "Look, I can't do it; it's too hard."
Yep.
Yet she still gave a really passionate speech, and you could see that it meant a lot to Lauren to have her give it. And so again, she'll be around the team for the rest of the year, and but she starts
Okay.
the whole process of rehab again. You hear on other footy shows where they talk about events or series, and there seems to be a bit of a consistency to the area that Port are breaking down in. You
Okay.
can see, like the Melbourne game and
Absolutely.
patches of the North Melbourne game, that
Yeah.
when we bring anything near our best, we can mix it with the best sides in the comp. It's just that we're not being able to do it for long periods of time, and it's not a fitness thing; it's a mental thing. It's just again
Yep.
that the start against Geelong was subpar, and we were sort of playing catch up. We got back in front at halftime, but again we sort of went away a little bit from our structures,
Yeah.
and that hurt us.
If we could start with perhaps not the negative, but it's certainly not the positive. Some of the players that are anyone that's struggling is a bit of coming back from injury or little bits of just would like to see them get more of the ball or
Yeah, look, I think it's kind of a positive tempered with the fact that their contributions aren't huge. We've had Jasmine Evans,
yep.
Jasmine Sowden. We've had Lauren Young and Chloe Gaunt, and there's someone else I've forgotten. But they're
Yes.
all
Yep.
debutants of this season. So and that's fantastic. But in terms of possession output, they're finding their feet, so it's going to take them a while.
Understood.
Um, and so they contribute well in patches.
Yeah,
Um,
showing moments in little exactly. So yeah, it's
of what they'll be capable of the longer they're in the side.
yeah, totally.
Um, but so as such, when you've got 3 or 4 of them in the team, that's a lot of inexperience. Um, at the risk of sounding harsh, for me, the person that's um, I'd like to see a better output from
Yep.
um, is actually Gemma Houghton.
Yep. I thought you
She
might say.
gets to it. She gets to a lot of the contests, but for whatever reason, her hands this season have just not they've
Mm.
been not great at all.
Yeah, and
She
the
kicked a goal on
scoreboard
the weekend.
shows, doesn't it? Her numbers, amount of scoreboard pressure, and also just the amount of goal scoring this time last year was through
Yeah,
the roof. So yeah, that doesn't lie. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's the journey to get to those results that you can see that can be improved
correct.
second half.
She's
Yeah.
just she's got it. Each game, she's probably got her hand to the footy
Oh,
4, 5, 6 times
such potential.
for
Totally.
marking, and she'll take 1 or 2, and she'll clunk one that you don't expect her to
Yeah.
take, but it's sort of easy marks, and it's either bouncing off or she just has misread it.
Yeah.
And the style of footy that we play, it's important. Like, and I'm not expecting her to kick bags every week,
No.
but just to be a bit cleaner with her hands, so that then in
Yeah.
turn the ball's going even deeper into the forward lines.
To be fair,
Uh,
graded at a high standard. If there's a certain other players in the team that were if they do drop and the standard, they certainly have a certain standard. They've got the potential. You don't want to kind of ignore that, and that's the yeah.
yeah, and the other
Oh,
person that sort of, I guess, if we put a spotlight on her with the expectation of greater output,
yep.
is Ella Bogue. So
Sure.
she primarily plays on the wing, um, just the volume of disposals that she's getting is not very high at all. Like she's around the six,
Sure.
7, 8 disposals during the
Okay.
game, and uh, like I guess it's not a fair comparison. Like you've got Shanae Goody spending some time on the wing, and there's other players pushing through the wing, but just getting a lot more footy. She's got a beautiful penetrating kick,
Sure.
but she's just not
Absolutely.
getting the ball in her hands as much. And that's not because people
Sure.
aren't looking for her. It's just, yeah, for whatever reason. It's a classic case of like not everybody's going to improve season on season.
Sure.
The other player that plays on the wing is Caitlin Pope, and
Yep.
so um, again, Port's style of play isn't high possession. Um, the sides like Melbourne, North Melbourne, even Geelong,
Yep.
they've had 50, 60, 80 more disposals than us, and it's almost all handball. So we've had about the same number of kicks as the opposition, but they just have way more handball in that they throw it around a lot, whereas our game revolves around putting pressure on the ball. And
Okay.
so sides are trying to get the handball to get out the back or around the pressure. Um, and that's where, if we don't get the balance right, that they get on the outside of us. And uh, yeah, look, there's still so much to be positive about. It's
Sure.
just coming 2-4. It's yeah, 3-3 or 4-2 would have been so
Sure.
much better, but we're not. That's not the case. That's not where we're
Shows
at.
shows how much every game, every quarter really matters. It's a
Oh, exactly,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the
Now,
season grows longer, but 12 games is still you
I'm going.
blink and the season's over.
Who's really impressed you? Give us your review on the players that have been really impressing you this year.
3 weeks ago, we talked
Yep.
about Ebony O'Day,
Yep.
and she laid arguably the tackle of the round.
It's enormous.
Admittedly, the Geelong player had given their teammate a hospital hand pass,
Yes.
and Ebony's intent wasn't to injure the player. It was just about you're going for the footy. I'm going in to lay a big tackle, and she was just wide open
Any
and
update
caught her
on
in the
Ebony
ribs.
O'Day's? Any update on what the report on that? Is
No,
she
no, I
just
don't.
fine?
No, there
Good.
was no. There was it,
Yeah.
the player ended up sadly with concussion, but
Yeah.
that was like the Ebony laid a tackle, didn't drive her into the ground.
No,
It's just that she
exactly.
was fully extended with the ball above her head. She copped it in the ribs, which caused her to hit the ground. The player was more concerned about being really winded and
Mm,
possibly having an injured rib. But it turns out that she ended up being subbed out with concussion.
there you go.
Um, all of that aside,
Yep.
Ebony again
Brilliant.
has for the most part is maintaining her feet at the contest, which is fantastic. Um, Molly Brooksby, the the defensive unit is working well,
Mm.
and with the exception of an umpire suggesting that the rush behind was like not
Oh,
making an attempt on the football,
I'm so
which
glad.
ultimately has turned out for the AFL to say, well, sorry, yeah, the umpire got the decision wrong. But I'm pleased that Port came out
Unfortunately,
and said,
rubbish.
look, that had no bearing on the final result.
Yeah. No.
And yeah, good sides can navigate bad umpiring. And look, the umpire made a couple of bad decisions during the game, but so do players. And so
Absolutely.
we just have to sort of control the things we've got control over. Um, so Tegan Germack, she's
Yep.
solid. Sashi Sign, again, doing really well as the sort of the small defender.
Yep.
And then there's a few other people that are rolling back there. Ella Heads is spending a bit of time on half back, on the wing, on the ball. So in terms of the better players, Molly Brooksby,
Yep.
that's the probably the most consistent game that she's
Matilda
played.
Scholes.
Oh,
Definitely
look, Matilda Schultz is
Scholes. Matilda Scholes.
even though the side's not performed to the level,
Yeah.
she'd not the players play for all Australian selection, but
No.
she'd have to be in serious consideration. Um,
Absolutely.
Abby Dowrick, again, just doing Abby Dowrick
Brilliant.
stuff, like winning the hard ball, getting the ball on and getting the ball on long, again, because her kick is so penetrating. that just brings the forward line or the midfield so much more space to work into because
Sure.
she's getting Ella Heads.
Yep.
That was probably the best team game that she's played, and that's not suggesting that she's not had good games, but
Sure.
in terms of performance, that was her best game. And I think it's about just getting a feel for the team. It's a new team, it's a new structure. Um,
Absolutely.
I guess it's exciting for her because she certainly didn't play any midfield time at the Swans. So,
Sure.
but at Port, her leg speed is helpful. Indy Tahu again, um, she's providing a real target. So the, the the strengths that she has, which in turn poses the questions or the stress for the opposition, is one,
Yep.
she's tall, she's strong overhead, but
Yep.
she's so powerful in her running as well. So
She's looking
yeah, so
great.
in terms of a
Absolutely.
matchup, it's hard. You go for someone that's as tall or taller than her for the
Yep.
defensive aspect,
Yep.
she'll work off of them. If you go for someone that's quicker than her, then she'll outmark them. So that's credit to her. Again, someone that was out for the nearly 2 seasons to come back
She's been so
and
impressive.
slot in so seamlessly is fantastic.
Yeah. How good was
Again,
Lauren Young on the weekend? I was really impressed by some of her work, and it's obviously
oh,
just
she took some
stop.
very good
Yeah.
contested marks, and
Yeah.
I think like she laid quite a few tackles as well.
Yeah.
So
Good
look,
signs.
again, the more she gets to play, the more confidence, similar to Wendy, that she'll get in her knee
Absolutely.
and in herself, and then you'll start to see her real talents shine through.
Anyone
So
else? Anyone else to highlight before we get to
Ash
Coach's Corner?
Woodland.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So again, Ash Woodland, her running through the midfield, she's yeah. So her transition into being a midfielder has been like fantastic. Again, there's a little bit of robbing Peter to pay Paul,
Sure.
um, but again, we've got the firepower in our forward line. It's just about unlocking it, and we haven't been able to do that as effectively as we'd like. Um, but the next 2 games are an opportunity to do so, playing St Kilda away and then the Western
Yes.
Bulldogs back at home. So these are sides that we should beat if we're continuing to grow as a team.
Brilliant. All right, let's get to the coach's corner. I'm going to wedge in just real quickly in regards to leadership. Can you just give us a little bit of a grade on Justine Mules Robinson's kind of leadership? Obviously, going in at a role with Cuthbertson, you can even kind of add. I don't know how much you can analyze behind the scenes what the how the impact that she's doing, but certainly you can see what Justine is doing. So if you can add, if you can just tie into that with Lauren's report on the game, and again just extending to the I guess the get away from the rearview mirror and focus on the next 6 games and trying to get into the finals.
So you can see why the side or the team picked Justine Mules as the captain. I think in part it's the player vote, but also it's the coaches. And so she brings a lot of
Sure.
experience. But the other thing that she brings is she brings a bit of fun and connection and just enjoyment to the side as well. And they're all important things. She started the season exceedingly well.
Yep.
Um, I, she looks a little bit banged up. She's got a bit of strapping on her, like on her thigh,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
so she's not covering
Bit
the
of
ground as
war
well
zone.
as as she was in the first few games.
Yeah.
Um, and so, look, being a captain of a team in itself has a bit of a weight to bear, in that you feel that you have to bring your best every week. And um, yeah, her last 2 games haven't been as good as the first 4.
Okay.
But that could be a variety of things. Again, how often are we looking to bring the ball to her in the forward lines?
True.
Is she carrying an injury? Um, are the opposition putting more time into her? Um, so again,
Hard
her
to analyze over just two
experience.
games. It's just, yeah, but when you only got 12
Yeah,
games, I've said to you almost like
yes,
every game matters double to triple to what we
yeah.
normally. Yeah, it's magnified so much.
So the coach has, and
Yeah,
Lauren
sure.
Arnell after the game basically said that the side didn't like sort of come to the party until the second quarter onwards.
Yep.
And again, it's um, we've contributed to our own sort of demise
Yes.
in that. Again, there's several games that if we were able to replicate what we'd been able to do for the majority of the game,
Mm.
for the period that we were down, then the scoreboard would have looked differently.
We're always
We
looking
know,
promising. She's got a team that's always kind of looking threatening. We every time
yes,
we go into the forward line, like I've said before in previous podcasts, she's set up a team that's got all the weapons and it's just going to fire at the right times and gel
yeah,
amongst
yeah,
the individuals. But a team that can be competitive, you can go to every game knowing that your side's going to be in it up to their eyeballs.
yeah,
Generally.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So that's good. She's done well there. I guess she's
so
got
what
something to
what
promise the girls for the next 6 weeks. There's a template.
exactly. So the team that they've got, or the squad that they've got,
Yep.
um, there's some superstars there.
Yep.
One of the things that I didn't mention earlier is I know that Geelong put a lot of time into Shanae Goody
Yeah.
because they see her as being sort of the link basically all over the ground. She's just a running machine and she loves the physicality. But yeah, there
Yep.
were players bumping into her all over the ground trying to put her off a game. Um,
I I
so the
also
next
noticed
six
Lauren
weeks,
Arnell, just quickly, I know
yes,
Lauren Arnell did just highlight, let's just right now we're disappointed, but it's about how we respond. And I think that's something to be said about how that's another great thing about the attitude of the team this year is, in this season,
yeah,
the
exactly.
maturity that as you said, St Kilda and the dogs just
The
in the
Bulldogs, yeah,
yeah, so that's they're it's how we respond. You got 2 weeks, and it is all the more again because of the magnification of two games. That means we're eight now, 8 to 12.
yeah.
Games to go. So it's just it's very little room for error.
No, exactly. So obviously the focus is on the St Kilda game away. The next 6 weeks, I don't think they're going to move. They're not going to move away from what they've been doing. So I
No.
mean, in terms of, it's not like like we're going horribly. Let's just give all the youngsters a go.
Yep.
That's already what we're doing because we've got quite a few youngsters in the squad. So it's
Sure.
about getting the balance right. So you don't have too many youngsters. Otherwise, you experience sort of big difference in quality
Absolutely.
of performance. Um, St Kilda picked up a few injuries
Okay.
on the weekend, and they've already got a few injuries. So
So we're
um,
13th. That was a bit of a loss. Like we could have finished eighth on the ladder, and Geelong are eighth. We're 13th. So that was a bit of a loss. St Kilda 10th.
just above
So
us, yes,
yeah, but there's yeah, 6 wins as well as us. Sorry, no, they're 12. They're 12. They got 12
yeah.
points, but we've got eight.
So
So
they've had
just
three
one game
wins. We've
behind.
only got eight. Yeah, yeah,
Yep, but gee whiz, okay, like this is as you say, it's a pretty big tight ladder, and yeah, you can just jag
yeah,
a win like that, and suddenly we've got ourselves a bit again in the mix, and also our percentage is pretty healthy at 85%. St Kilda's is 87, so that would jump us up again. I don't know if it'll get us in the eight, but it'll get us a lot closer.
yeah,
And that, yeah, as I said, every win really counting a lot. So St Kilda and then Western Bulldogs, as you say, and they're 13, 14, 15, 16th on the ladder. So yeah, so there's two big wins to come.
yeah.
Western Bulldogs. I'm just have a little look. The fixture is that fixture a game that is away or at home? Let's have a just
Oh,
quickly
the
look.
Bulldogs game's back at Alberton Oval.
Oh, nice. Alberton on a 7:15 on so quarter. Yeah, so 6:45 or something. You guys time on Saturday the 4th of October. How's that? Beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
Saturday night at
Uh,
Alberton. That'll be quite a delight. But yes, before that, St Kilda, RSEA Park, went over in Victoria, 12:30 again in Adelaide time on Sunday afternoon. So your predictions before we exit the? She's got the Power Studios.
Look, the game on the weekend, the side needs to enter into that, believing well and truly that this is a game that we should win.
Yep,
Um, but the they only need to look at the premiership table to remind themselves of the fact that they have to bring their best
absolutely.
to to convert that into a win.
Yep.
So I would expect that they come away with a solid 3 to 4 goal win, and
Okay.
I guess it depends on conditions. I mean, it's expected to rain,
Okay.
um, so it just depends on how crappy the conditions are.
All right.
Um,
Well,
but again, if we
lastly,
bring our best, then we should get a win.
okay. We should win. You're predicting our Port win over St
Yes, yes.
Kilda. Um, a question we don't notice. We've got a few minutes to go. Just what would be the headline the following day? What is the highlight? Where do you think we're going to win? Is there someone that stands out in particular for Port to beat St Kilda at RSCA Park?
Oh, look, I think it's a case of that, as with any game, male or female, it's the midfield that's
Yep.
the starting point and the important aspect of that. Um, I think it could be an opportunity. Like this is maybe an opportunity for someone like Lauren Young to. I know it's only a second game, but maybe it's an opportunity for her to announce herself
Yep.
and kick a couple of goals. This might
Beautiful.
be the game where um, Gemma
Maybe about
Houghton's
10,
hands
10.
start to get a bit stickier, and
Good
she
call.
kicks sort of two or three goals.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so the forward line are aligned on the ball coming down there.
All right, mate. Excellent.
Again, it's the players that will have good games. Again, Shanae Goody is always there and about. It's Matilda Scholes.
Yep.
Um, so there'll be the usuals, but hopefully some of the others jump on board,
All right.
and
Anything else before
that's where
we
the 3 to 4 goals win.
3 to 4 goal win would be perfect. That'd be great, mate. So Sunday afternoon.
Oh, just the only other thing is just the crowd sizes. Again, at Alberton, we seem to be very consistently around the 27 to 2,800, which
Nice. Okay.
is well, well, apart from the occasional crowd at one game here or there where there's a big number,
Yep.
Port's Port's crowds are consistently the largest. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
fantastic, and look, shows how passionate the Port supporters are, and the
Excellent.
players really appreciate it. So yeah, look, let's keep doing that for the rest of the season, and
Absolutely.
hopefully the players can start to get some wins, and we can enter the last third of the season with a bit of a positive vibe and the
Absolutely.
prospect of maybe making it into the finals.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. As you say, leading into the Western Bulldogs, we'll do a review of the St Kilda game, and yeah, a bit more details on She's Got the Power. Thanks very much for listening and watching, guys. And until next week,
Go the power.
go the power.